Hello my loves, it's Kasha Plannerista 101 coming today with a completely different video. So today we're going to be talking about bullet points and tips and tricks. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. I hope you like it here. If you are coming back, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. So I have this book of 5 pages with simply bullet points and nothing else. And in the recent months, I had quite a few of you reach out and ask what I do with the bullet points. And the other day, I also had some people on a Facebook group asking the same thing. So I decided to make a video for all of you. Please excuse the extremely outdated planner. It is from 2020, but I do keep my outdated planners for reasons like this, where I can show you guys examples without really needing to do a full spread. So we can just work with the sections that I need. So here we go. We have July of 2020, and then the first step I have to use these is birthdays. So I will put like a little star to indicate somebody's birthday, or sometimes I will take a box and put the box down. Let's do it on the 9th, like so. And I will put the bullet point inside of it to emphasize the birthday, like this. So let me grab a pen and write in here. So let's say this is Mrs. C's birthday. So I'll do that. Or I will just write straight on a planner, like I do both things, depending on the month, depending how I feel. So let's say it's Katie's birthday. So there we go. So that's how I mark these. I also mark my bills. So my bills are usually something like an exclamation mark like this. And I will just put, let's say, phone bill due. And then underneath, once I pay it, I will put the amount. So it's easy to track my bills this way too. So that's kind of the 2 tips that I use in my monthly. And then let's go into the weeklies, and I'll show you many cool little tricks you could do with these. First and foremost, you can actually make a little design and a flower out of these, which is pretty cool. So I'm just gonna grab some hearts and take them in green because that's the first color that stood out at me. I grabbed it, so that's what it's going to be. I'm gonna grab this dark teal asterisk, and I'm going to place these little hearts all around, creating a little flower. So for these little bullet points, I suggest you guys use tweezers because they are kind of tricky to get a hold of. So I can take them off really easily, but to lay them precisely is not as easy. And then I can draw like a stem and some leaves, and there you go, you have a flower. So that's one of the tips. You can make them obviously in variety shapes and sizes. You can overlap the hearts too to make it quite more appealing. So it's up to you. I just wanted to show you a quick way of doing this. I thought that was a fun little tip. The next thing I do in my planner, so I'm just gonna quickly grab some of the green florals from Live Love Posh. Just like a single floral, and I want to do one that I'm not necessarily going to need in the future, but I need a white background to show you what I mean. So I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna grab a box with it. Let's grab like a full box because that might be good. Okay, so I'm gonna grab that really bright yellow box. It's like green, I'm sorry. It's like super kiwi green. And normally I would obviously remove the lines so it doesn't get, so it's not showing through the flowers, but this is just for showing you of these purposes. And now I'm gonna grab some of these like really pale stars that match the flower. And I'm gonna spread them around to kind of make this a more fun design. So that's like once you have clusters, you can add these decorations to make that a little bit more interesting. So that's the second, well, that's the third tip that you can do. And look how much more interesting and fun this looks for you to be able to just use the little things. The next tip I'm going to show you is, let's grab a checklist. So I'm going to put a green checklist as I'm working with her green book. I'll just do that. And then I will use the bullet points to emphasize things on my to-do list. So I'm going to grab 2 exclamation points. I'm going to grab one and put it on top of the checklist, and then one that I will put next to. Both of these items will draw my eye, so I know that those things need to stand out in my day-to-day to-do. So when I'm writing my list and I have things that are maybe not necessarily so interesting, so let's say I have grocery shopping and I have an actual appointment at 2 p.m. that day, and then another appointment at 5 p.m. and then some, I don't know, clean the house. So those appointments will stand out quite a bit compared to all the other items. So the 2 p.m. and the 5 p.m. I'm going to be looking for those exclamation marks to catch my eye. So that's the next thing that kind of is fun to do with these. And then a little bit more time consuming, you can actually do some borders of your boxes with these. I'll show you how to do them. I'm gonna use the arrows for this because I've done it with arrows before and I really did like how that came out, so I'll show you right now. I'm gonna grab arrows in 2 colors and kind of overlap that, like overlap them every other. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna grab the teal and the orange, so they're very contrast like arrows. I'm gonna start placing them on the line. Take a look what that looks like. So I'm gonna create a border. It is time consuming, so don't get me wrong, it's not something that you probably will be doing on every plan with me, but it is a fun effect to do, especially if you have a limited amount of stickers and you do have a lot of bullet points. And I don't know if you knew this, but I love bullet points so much. When Happy Planner came with the work-life balance book with all of the bullet points, I bought all of them. I love them. I think they're fantastic. I think they're really, really fun to use. And they have a multitude of uses. So I know that most sticker books that we buy from Happy Planner usually have some kind of bullet points. So there's so many things you could do with them. You put that teal one and orange. And it's not perfectly straight because I'm not doing it for an actual spread, but you get the gist of it. I'm just gonna finish so you can see a full effect of what this looks like. It's actually a lot of fun, right? It looks different, it looks important. So if you have like an anniversary or an important event, or a birthday or your birthday, it's kind of fun to emphasize pages like this. So I'm gonna add the rest of these little nuggets into the spread. Give me 1 second. And it looks like I might be missing one. So let me go ahead and just grab a black one, which is fine. So normally I would go and get another book to match these, but right now I'm just gonna do a black one. It's gonna stand out, which is fine. Okay, so that was one way to do it. Another way to do it, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a box. I'm gonna place the box maybe on Saturday. Let's do that. And I'm gonna take some hearts and I'm gonna go ahead and show you how you can frame the box with them too. It's a lot of fun to kind of make them look a little different. Let's see, what do I want to use? What if I use the orange hearts? And I'm just gonna put them on top of the line like this. It's gonna cover the line and they're gonna look quite lovely, like it's meant to be like this. And you can do it in one color, you can do it in multiple colors, you could do a rainbow, you could do whatever you want with these. So I'm just gonna keep it simple and do a single color. So all of these match. Perfect. And then the top, let's do a yellow one. Let's do like a summer version. So we have summer sunrise. So we have yellow on the top, and then you could also do the sides. I'm not going to. I like having that little bit of green in between the two layers of hearts. I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave them like this. So I think that's pretty good. So now you have multiple tips. I have more, so give me 1 second. So you have these boxes in the actual planner. You have the bullets on the actual sticker box. And now I will show you another cool trick. So when you're anchoring down a picture, whether it's a picture that you're printing, whether it's a sticker, whether it's one of these stickers from like Listen to Your Heart, you can take some of these asterisks or whatever you want to use and kind of use them as picture anchors. I'm gonna grab blue ones because I think they go well with browns. So I'm gonna grab these snowflakes and kind of put them on the corner of a picture so it looks like I am holding the picture down with these. Give me 1 second because I messed up that one. There we go. Back down. Okay. So I'm gonna anchor all of these with this blue little snowflake. Look how cute it looks. It looks like I'm holding down the picture with these, right? And that's exactly what I meant when I said that you could make it look like thumbtacks or a little picture holder. And then you can also use these to make kind of like a washi strip out of these. So I'm gonna use some stars and put them along the bottom of the box and like this. So I'm aligning them pretty perfectly and they're almost forming like a washi strip. It's not necessarily washi, but kind of resembles that same type of decoration where it's just you're creating a busy space. I sometimes like to also cut some of these if they're too large and they're taking too much space. I will cut like 3 or 4 of them and show you what I mean. So I will cut these snowflake looking things. I'm gonna take the halves and kind of put them on a different line. So I'm gonna put them maybe on Monday right there. So I will put the little nuggets like this, like the half of the bullet, and then create a different design. Like, look how cool that looks, right? It's different. Nobody has anything like this. I like to sit and play and do different things in my planner all the time. A lot of times I don't share everything. Some of my planners are very private, so that's why you guys don't get to see everything, but that's okay. I share a lot, I think, anyway. So here's the tips and tricks that I do with bullet points. So that's the next one. Cut it in half. You can use halves as bullet points too if they're large. Don't be afraid to do that. Like the Calvin plan book comes with bullet points. For me, those are too large, so I cut them in half. You can also use them in corners like this, and then write your stuff in between, and they kind of emphasize that too. Especially if you have the same color or a contrasting color, I think they're gonna look super, super cool. So those are kind of the tips that I have for you guys. And the last one, if you guys already know, I'm a pretty avid journaler, and sometimes when I have to add a page and I'm starting a new paragraph, I will start it with a bullet point. because then it gives me an idea that I have finished one thought and started another, or if I'm changing a subject, I might use that too. So those are all the ideas that I have for you guys. So we have bills and birthdays, and then we have a flower design, boxes of 2 varieties. Then we have the kind of outside of a cluster, the emphasis on a checklist, the inside of a box, the picture holder, and all the other stuff. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this helps you use your bullet points. Let me know, and thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.